Welcome back to BNC Live. So how many of you grab that phone every chance you get? Be honest now, no matter if it dings, vibrates, bings, you name it, we're all guilty of picking it up. But sometimes you just have to unplug and block out all of the noise. This Self-Care Saturday on BNC, our mental health and wellness expert, Jay Marks, shows us how unplugging is a form of self-care. Jay Marks, thank you so much for joining me for Self-Care Saturday.
Aren't we glad that this is Saturday? Because it has been so much stress this week. It's time to unwind.
Yeah. And so when we talk about unwinding, you talk about being busy all the time, and sometimes we need to take the moment to just unplug. But what does it mean to unplug, and how is unplugging a part of self-care?
You know, unplugging means so many things. You know, we're so busy, just like you were saying, Brittany, we're connected to our TVs, we're connected to our phones, we're connected to all social devices, we're connected to the news, we're connected to our work. So unplugging means unplugging from all of these things. And why is this so healthy? Because it makes such a big difference in our overall health to be able to unplug. It reduces our stress, it clears our head. You know, again, we are so focused on all these things all week. The weekends are the perfect time to completely unplug.
And so, I was asking you this earlier. We talk about the buzzing and the binging, the constantly hearing your email, or whether it's the text message on your phone or anything like that. But how do you actually ignore all that when you're taking the time to say, you know what, I need a little bit of peace?
Well, you know, I think ignoring it means an intentional choice, because once those notifications off, unless we completely take those notifications off, we're still going to be reminded, on a constant basis. We've got to attend to that. So on the weekend, it's important to take the notifications off. You know, we hear so much about intermittent fasting. Well, this is a way of fasting. We just social media fasting, at least for the weekends. And it makes such a difference in terms of just overall sleep, anxiety, a sense or the ability to connect to other people, because our minds have quieted down, and that's what's critical.
Yeah. Well, what recommendations do you have when you're laying in the bed and you just you get anxious and you want to pick up the phone, and you want to pick up whether it's your tablet or something like that? What do you recommend for people to do to just kind of quiet those minds?
Well, for a lot of us, we have to take action. We have to get up and do something. And so if you restructure your weekends, for example, let's say you get up and you go to the farmer's market, or you go exercise, or you go out to brunch, because it's that opportunity to connect with people. When we're plugged in, we don't think about that eye-to-eye contact. And think about this. If during the week when you're plugged in and you're constantly focused on this, you think, well, this is my opportunity. It's like a reward. And so if we can look at an unplugging as a reward, then we're more likely to make that choice.
Mm-hmm. And you touched on social media a little bit too. You think about when you go on trips, and those are supposed to be the times that we actually unplug. But like all of us, we're out here, whether it's Instagram, you constantly scanning and, want to show off what you're doing at that moment, having the instant gratification or showification. Yeah, I made up that word. How do you still unplug when you are so anxious to be able to want to share everything that's happening in real time?
Well, it's going to be slow at first, because the tendency, the unfortunate thing about being plugged in is that what the research now shows is too often like an addiction. So we're really having to let go. It's almost like we're having to completely detox. And, I think most of us are not going to do that 100%, but if we can do it in baby steps, I think it makes a difference. If we can say, all right, for 5 minutes or 15 minutes, we're going to stay plugged in, but for the other 45 minutes, we're not going to make that choice. So again, it's an intentional step that we take. And it's like a health investment for us.
Mm-hmm.
We'll take the time to do that, and it's going to open up possibilities. We tend to consume, but if we think, if we unplug, we can be more creative in our worlds. We can connect in our worlds. We are, again, looking at different possibilities. It's like opening up a whole new world. It's like a gift to yourself.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, does it take a lot of discipline?
For some people, it does. You think about it. If you're, and particularly look at you, you're in the news industry. This is part of your job. You have to do this all day long. So to completely separate from that out on the weekend, it is going to require more discipline. But if you choose activities that you enjoy, or that you love, or that are stimulating to you, it's going to make it a much easier process.
Yeah, you touched on that important thing because it's like always like, oh, let me check this. They may need me for this. They may need me for that, and you can't get away.
That's the truth. And that's why physical activity is so important. You see, you can't be doing this. You can't be running or swimming or dancing and checking checking those social devices at the same time. It's just very difficult. So I like the term taking action. That makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah, it definitely does. Well, Jane, lastly, what is your self-care tip for the week?
Okay, our self-care tip, because we talk about this all the time. And I use the word investment. How about this? Making an investment in yourself. Why not create this week a list of investments, whether it is unplugging, or just like we talked about, or a healthier diet, or taking time out to rest, or taking time out to connect with a friend. If we intentionally make investments in ourselves, just think about what this is going to do for the rest of the year. I like that idea, making an investment in yourself. And I think those of us who watch Self-Care every single Saturday, we're going to love that, particularly if we put it in place.
I think that is a very good thing to add because so many people don't think about investing in themselves. They spend so much time investing in others, but not really in ourselves. So, Jane,
absolutely.
Yeah, Jane, as always, thank you for the great advice for Self-Care Saturday. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Have a great weekend.